Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, The Last Ronin, Lost Years, issue number 3 from IDW. So we start off this issue with Michelangelo complaining about his eyes as he's surrounded by bodies. And then we cut to the present day, which is April and Casey and the new generation of Turtles. I'm going to skip all that because it's really boring. I really don't know why this is in here. I feel like this series should just focus on Mikey. And then if you want to follow these characters, maybe have like another spin-off that focuses on the present. But I'm not interested in this. This is just kind of boring. I don't really care for these characters. I mean, there's April for the nostalgic, vibes. Casey Marie Jones. She's not a bad character, but she's not interesting enough to carry a series. And I don't really care all that much for this new generation of Turtles. I don't hate them, but I don't like them either. Like, they're not interesting to me. And it's funny because there was a comment on one of my Ronin videos saying how they wish that Mikey had survived and that he was the one that was the new sensei for the new generation of Turtles. That he basically takes on the mantle of Splinter. And how interesting would it be that the character who we all know as the party dude, Michelangelo is the party dude, and he's just constantly goofing off, and he's the one with the most potential, but he's also not the strongest because he wastes that potential. Like, that's the thing that for Mikey is he's always one with the most natural talents out of all the other Turtles, but he just never fully dedicates himself to training because he'd rather have fun. So it'd be interesting to see that character. Now he has to be the sensei. So he goes from the party, fun-loving dude to the serious teacher trying to raise a bunch of small children and train them into being ninjas, and him having to overcome this blockage of, he's never been in a teacher role. Now he has to be. That would have been really cool and interesting, especially since we got a little bit of that in the main Last Ronin run between him and Casey, but it wasn't that much. It's funny because the series acts as if Mikey has taught Casey Marie Jones a lot, but we saw very little interaction between the two of them. It wasn't that much. But yeah, I was thinking, you know what? That actually would be kind of interesting. I don't know how would I feel about that if Mikey survived, because I feel like his death just kind of, it kind of concluded the Last Ronin. I don't know how I would feel if he had survived. It's bittersweet because obviously I don't want to see any of my turtles die, but the fact that he died in the way he died and just him joining his brothers and his father and Casey Jones in the afterlife, that's kind of bittersweet. But I will say that it would be interesting to see him having survived and raising this new generation, because I don't really care about Casey Marie Jones and April and their story with this new generation. I think it might have been more fun if Mikey was still around to do it, but without him, it's just, I don't know, I feel like it's just wasted pages. I don't really care too much about this group. I'd rather just focus on the past. If we just focus on Mikey. In the past, we have Mikey. He's blind. He can't see, and there are people around him that are like, you can't see us, but we can see you, creature. And they basically knock him out and carry him into this truck. Just pull him into this wagon, and they're dragging him around. And then we get a flashback within a flashback, where we see what happens after the last issue, where he was attacking the Korean bar and taking out the Deathworm's men and trying to figure out where the Deathworm is. So after he got his answer, which is in Mongolia, he hijacks a car using Raph's Psy. Yeah, he's basically just driving through the city as it's snowing. And later he finds out that it's not snow. It's actually, there was a huge earthquake which has destroyed basically all of North Korea, destroyed a lot of Britain, South Korea, destroyed a lot of China, and it just destroyed power plants. So it was actually nuclear fallout. So because of that, Michelangelo has gone blind. So now he can't see, and he's taken to this Mongolian village where he meets this the leader, who's also blind. And it turns out that these guys are enemies of the Deathworm. So when they find out that Mikey is trying to stop the Deathworm, they take him in And then the series, the rest of this issue is pretty much him training to fight, and not just fight, but to live with the fact that he's now blind. Now, the thing is that, as we all know, in the last Ronin, Michelangelo isn't blind, so we know for a fact that he's going to get his eyesight back at some point. So this feels kind of weird. I guess it's just supposed to be like more training for Michelangelo to do, but at the same time, it feels kind of like, how should I explain this? I mean, we're literally handicapping Michelangelo so that we can have another training montage. So it's just kind of like, how many times are we going to have Michelangelo train? That's all he's been doing. First issue, he's training. Second issue, he's training. Third issue, he's training. And it's just like, okay, is the fourth issue going to be he's training? What's going to happen next? Is he going to lose feeling in his arms? Now he's going to have to train how to live and fight without the use of his arms until he gains them back. Is it going to be his legs? Like, is it going to be his hearing? He can't hear, but so now he has to train without using his sense of hearing. Like, how many times are we going to have to handicap my boy just so we can just have more training? Like, just kind of get on with the action already. And we do kind of get some of that later on. I'm not going to spoil any of that. I will kind of just stop the spoilers here. I don't know. I will say that while I do enjoy the series, I do feel like, especially with this issue, we're kind of just dragging our feet at this point in time. Like, it might have been better if it was, I mean, if you don't want him to fight the Death Worm right now, if you want that to be like the ending of this series, this mini series, then maybe like you can do a bit of a Kung Fu, the TV series, where Michelangelo he's tracking down the Mongolian, and as he's tracking the Mongolian, he comes across people that need his help. And so as he helps them, he gains new knowledge, either about himself or about, just philosophy in general, or about the Mongolian and stuff. Just something like that, maybe. So like each issue, we get like a self-contained story with action, and then the overarching story is him tracking down the Death Worm. That would have been nice. Instead, it's just kind of like, oh, he's trying to track down the Death Worm, but he keeps getting more training in. And it's like, all right, I don't know how many times I can watch Michelangelo train before I just start getting bored of watching him train. Like, let's pick up the pace here. So yeah, this issue was a bit of a letdown. Like, I will say I still enjoy the series overall, but I am losing a little bit of interest, and it's mostly for two reasons that I've just already discussed so much, and that is the story in the present day with Casey Marie Jones, April, and the new generation of Turtles. I don't care about them. Like, you haven't done anything to make me really care. Like, I don't hate them, but I don't like them enough either to really want to like focus on them. Like, I tend to just kind of skim through their stuff. I'm not even bothering to review any of their stuff because it's just not useful in any way. So I wish you would have taken all that out and made it its own separate series if you want to do that, and just focus on Michelangelo. And let's focus less on Michelangelo training. We got that in the first two issues. We don't need that for the third issue. Let's just pick up the pace now. Let's move on with the story. So yeah, that's kind of like my thoughts on this. So I'll say like the first issue was, I don't know, maybe like an A- or so. The second issue would be like a B plus. I'll say this issue is a C. It's just average. I don't hate it. I don't love it either. It's just okay. It does some good things that are interesting. Michelangelo being blind is kind of interesting, but at this point in time, it's like when you literally gotta handicap your main character just so you can get another training session in. At this point in time, it's like, okay, like I don't just move on with the story. So yeah, there you go. There's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, The Last Ronin, The Lost Years, issue number 3. I feel like we're kind of dragging our feet. It's kind of losing the plot. Hopefully it picks up in the next issue. We'll see. Hope you enjoyed. Hope to see you next time. Take care. Later. So what'd you guys think of that video? Hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys haven't already, please subscribe. Hit that bell for a notification. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video. And if you didn't enjoy the video, thank you for watching it this far. And I hope the next video is more to your liking. Feel free to check out the playlist that you guys see. And I hope to see you guys next time. Later.